This isn't sometimes able to break down these low blocks in this area here. But when you've got a player like Joe Rothwell, who would then, of course, receive the ball and go forward, he would carry the ball forward into this area here, taking out maybe some of these midfielders and opening up space where this midfielder might get pulled out. And obviously a very simplistic version of it, Joe Rothwell would essentially be a box-to-box number 8 who would get a lot further forward than whoever was playing in here, who would then kind of marshal across this midfield area. Last season, we were the dominant team in nearly every single game we played. And therefore, when you're in possession a lot more, you're going to need that kind of movement in front of you for somebody like Joe Rothwell to try and carry the ball or to try and find himself in those areas on the edge of the box. And you can afford to leave just 3 players back. You've got your 2 centre-backs, and then you've also got your holding midfielder as well. And the rest defence became basically a triangle like this. If you don't know what rest defence is, it's basically when you're attacking like this, you can see all your players here. What happens if the ball gets turned over? So say it was last season, Sheffield United centre-back Ahmed Hodzic picks up the ball. What do we look like at the back? If there's a ball over here, are we able to cover that? So you would say yes, with this, you're able to cover that. But in the Premier League this season, you might have a situation like this where you say, well, actually, because we're now going to be the team that is under pressure for most of the time, we're going to need to defend better when we do attack. So our rest defence is going to have to consist of 4 players instead. So you'd actually have Anton, Stach and Tanaka, for example, or Ampadu, whoever it may be in this 2 midfield positions. They would stay a little bit further back with your 2 centre-backs here, and when the ball is being played, you might play it into Goodmanson there. Goodmanson then might play it into Brendan Aronson, and it might come inside, etc., etc. But I don't think we're going to be wanting our midfielders in here to actually get too far forward in a lot of games. They're probably going to want to sit here because if, and it's very likely, this is a Liverpool we're playing against, and we turn over the ball in that situation. If we've got a player forward, Liverpool are very likely to be able to go from front to back very fast and expose us with only 3 players back, because they might have a 3 up front, and it might create a 3-on-3, and we would be devastated by some of the teams in the Premier League if we were doing that. However, if you leave your holding midfielder in here, and yes, it might be a little bit more negative, but people have been calling out for Farke to change tactics and to be a little bit more pragmatic so that we can survive in the Premier League. If you have a rest defence of 4 players like that, then you've always got an overload. So let's say Brendan Aronson's running towards the box, but he gets tackled by Van Dijk. Van Dijk plays it into McAllister. McAllister plays it out wide to Diaz. Liverpool have got 3 players here, but they've got 1 that can go to the ball, Leeds, 1 that can drop in here, and then you've got 2 here that can mark that pass, or 1 that can tuck in there and 1 that can mark that pass. Can you see how much more solid that is?